Hey guys, Robbie, Missouri Worm Supply. How do we feed on a commercial scale? Feed, water, take care of worms? Stay tuned and I'll show you how we do that. Okay, so each one of our beds is going to be different as far as moisture goes. This will be the same at your house. I know there's that rule of thumb, you squeeze, you get 1 or 2 drops. That is not a great, that's a good ballpark figure, if you will. Each bin that you have is going to be different. Each type of bin, whether you have a bin like this where no matter what the size is it, there's no holes. If you have a stackable bin, if you're running a wedge system, if your worms are straight on the ground, each one's going to differ or be different from the next. The best rule of thumb is to keep it as wet as you can. If it's outside building or somewhere you can easily maintain this moisture. If it's a stackable bin in your kitchen, that's a completely different monster. So what we do, we'll start here. We're going to take this row of bins. I will go through each one and just dig through one big handful. I want to get a feel how moist this soil is. And this will tell me when I wet the beds and feed the beds, pretty much what I need to do. Right now, all these beds are feeling pretty good. They're a little dry for my taste. But I just get one handful, tells me what's going on. So I'm going to grab our food here and show you what we're doing. Now this will differ for everybody on the amount of worms you have, the type of bin you have, the temperature of your surroundings or your bin. Is this inside? Is it outside? Is it winter? Is it summer? Is it humid? Everything, there's 1,000 different variables. So don't ever stick to anybody's 100%, this is the way it's got to be done. Not even me. Everybody's got to be different depending on different temperatures and humidities. But we have figured our food system out for our buildings to where we can, or for our worms, so that I know what I need to feed, how much I need to feed. It's a learning curve. It's something that you're going to have to do yourself. So this bucket here, this has some bran in it, but this is about 95% frass from mealworms and chitin from mealworms. Now the frass and the chitin are going to be put into the beds. The worms are going to eat it. What they don't eat will still come out with the castings that will be put into your beds. This is a anti-pest material or input you can be putting into your worms. It tells your plants that they are under attack, or there's a lot of pests there that they should be building their toxins up for. So anyway, we're going to put a 1/4 cup in each one of these. We will be setting up and selling mealworm frass on our website here shortly. I've just got to get the packaging done correctly. All right, now this is our mealworm. A lot of you know there's 11 different grains in there. There's azomite, there's green sand, there's kelp. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. It's not just your run-of-the-mill chicken feed and cornmeal. Can't find that on our website. All right, so we've had 1/2 cup of these. We do this twice a week. You're going to have to feed according to how much your worms eat. If this bin had 1 pound of worms or it had 20 pounds of worms, the feeding would be different. So there is no 100% true, this is the way it needs to be done type feeding. Okay. Now if you guys follow Lane Ingham, she will tell you never to add water to your bins. You shouldn't have to. That again all depends. We have to add water to our bins. Even though we have high humidity here in Missouri, this building, because of the heat and the way it's structured, in the wintertime with gas heat, pulls the moisture out. So we want to make sure that we keep that right. Now I've already went through these. I know how much moisture is in there. I know how much moisture I want to have in there. If this is your home inside house bin, it'll be completely different. So I know how much water I want to put. Well, we will start from there. Give me just a second. Let me finish watering this. All right, so this row has been fed and it's been watered. I will do this for each row that we have. And like I said, if I dig in one of these beds and it's really, really, really dry, I know that I need to add more moisture to that bin. I want to keep these bins as moist as I can without them going anaerobic. We fluff these about every 30 days, 21 days, something like that. We've hit our mid-mark with most of these on the 18th of October, where we doubled the bedding, and we're allowing everything to grow out. Each one of these beds starts with 3 pounds and should double in size, but they're not going to double, they're going to triple or quadruple. And I'm going to show you here in a second why we make, or how we make that happen. And there's no loss. I like this system rather than the individual breeders where you have 40 or 50 breeders on a wall and you have to run each one of those breeders, pull the cocoons out, reset your bins. Now you have to make cocoon bins. Once those hatch out, then you have to double those and make nursery bins. Pretty soon you can fill up, 5,000 square foot, nothing but black mortar trays, and it's an immense amount of work on you that we found a way we don't have to do. With these bins here, I can put about 3 pounds of, we've been playing with the numbers, and I can put about 3 pounds of worms in each one of these bins. In a 90-day period, they will double. But we do have bins we're going to run 18 breeders today. We do have a wall over here with breeders on them, but we don't have 150 like we used to have, I think it was, or 150, something like that. I'll run all those breeders. I'm going to pull all the cocoons. I will split. Let's say I run those today. I will take this bin and this bin. When all those cocoons, I'll put half of them here, moisten them in. Next week, I do the same thing, but I put one in here and one in there. And we keep rotating like that. So the bin that is normally going to put in, I put in 3 pounds, and I'm going to get 6 pounds out. I'm going to get closer to 12 pounds easy. We've been playing with the numbers as far as the breeding. 3 pounds is great for these bins. They really think that they are underpopulated and they just go to town doing their dirty deeds. And on top of that, we're adding cocoons. Lots and lots and lots of cocoons that are going through their normal cycle, and they all bloom up. And then at the end of the period, we'll harvest everything and we'll sell these. Okay, so let me cover these guys back up. We have to do all the bins, all the Ibc Totes, and we'll move over here to the bigger bins. Completely different setup, completely different ways of feeding. So give me just a minute. Okay, here we have a couple of our wedge systems. We have these purely for casting production. So on these guys, a lot of our scrap stuff goes in here. Cardboard, leaves, old boxes. As you can see, this stuff is almost, it's got that pool table effect. It is time for me now to put more shredded leaves, more mushroom compost, more just old compost on top of these. And I will feed these about 2 inches. Right now it's really, really cold outside. I'm not going to open the overhead door and get the tractor in here to do this. You're just going to have to think. We put probably 20 to 30 gallons of material on top of each one of these beds. And then we're going to hand feed also. Again, here's the chitin and the frass. We do add more to these because they are bigger beds. As we're doing different experiments or whatever around here, our cardboard gets ripped up, gets fed to these guys. Our coffee grains, our tea bags, we feed that to these guys. But we also put this sweet feed, I'm going to call sweet feed, right on top. Really gets them going. They really like it. Plus we're adding all the nutrients to bring sand, trace minerals. Again, we get the azomite, getting all that good stuff in there. So our castings are phenomenal. We've had a 100% good feedback or great feedback as far as our cannabis producers because of what we're producing and how we're doing it. We are making all of our castings fungal dominant. That is a great thing for your terpenes and your resin or rosin. And for your normal food, it's enhancing the flavor. Bacteria is going to do great. There's plenty of bacteria in here. Well, with the way we're doing it with mushroom compost, we're really enhancing that flavor. Let me grab the water. So again, pretend we put the 20 gallons of Ibc on here, and we will wet that stuff really, really well. Now we're coming across this top. We're not going to be wetting the very top, and we're moving this way now. So all of our worms will start, they'll just follow the food. In here, you can have about, 3,200, 3,000, or 32,000 worms in here, or 16,000 worms. It's probably about what's in here until it gets a lot bigger. But even though there's 32 square feet in these bins, you only feed on that front face. So we figure there's probably, I think we done them, it was 16,000. Okay guys, we moved over to these. We got 3 or 4 different bins here we're going to show you. This is just one of our breeding racks, our breeding bins. We're going to show you how we feed and water this one. This is the mini Wedge. We're going to show you how we do that. This is a stackable bin system. And then we have the urban worm bag down here for continuous flow through. So we're going to start here with one of our breeders. Now with our breeders, we do not fluff these. They do their own thing. We leave them alone. And every 21 days we pull them. I've already checked the moisture. I know I need a lot more moisture in here than I have. We're going to feed these and water these guys. Now these will be different when it comes to watering, because I will water these normal until they're a week from being pulled to run. Once they're ready to be, or once they're a week away, I'll fluff the bin. And I'll probably leave the top off depending on the moisture content. Now this can happen for you guys. It may take only a couple days. It can take a week. We'll pull these covers off and fluff every day for a week. If we've hit that moisture content that we like, or the dryness content that'll run through our trommel, then we just put the cover back on and we let them sit and rest until the day that we need to pull them. Otherwise, if they're too wet, we'll pull them every day. Or we'll fluff them every day. Okay, this is our mini Wedge. There's little pumpkins in here. Today we're going to do this a little different. We're going to add some new bedding to this one. Add mushroom compost. I'll feed these guys. Add a couple inches there. Again, we are going to feed the mealworm frass and chitin. And we're going to feed our worm shell. Now, one thing to learn about, I'll make a video over this. One thing to keep in mind, and I will shoot a video on this, over the mushroom compost. Mushroom compost is extremely absorbent, if you will. Like when you're using cardboard or dry peat to dry out a bed, try dry mushroom compost. It absorbs so much more water to where when you make a bed with mushroom compost, you need to get it wet like you think it's good. Do not add worms for at least 24 hours. Go back in the next day. I guarantee you that bed will need more water. This stuff, it absorbs a massive amount of water. I'm gonna let this one sit. I'll come back and I'll probably hit this a couple times. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit so we can get to these two guys. This is our stackable bin. This works with any stackable bin system out there. Again, you guys do not have to go buy the couple $100 bins. I'm gonna add a little bit of mushroom compost to the top of this one. And in another video today, I'm actually going to pull this bottom bin, and we're going to pull from the urban worm bag. And it's time to start pulling from these guys. Add another layer to this one. Now, I know from trial and error how much food these guys are going to eat. So with that knowledge, you'll learn how much your worms are going to eat over time. As you grow more worms in your bins, you'll notice that they eat more food. Once it gets, if you don't have a thermal regulated building, there's a good chance that your worms are really going to slow down in the winter. Our videos have been, we've slowed down our videos. I just got the heater installed. I've got all my unistrut welded up in the ceiling. We got it vented out. Got my thermostat and everything run. I'm waiting on the guys to come out. They're going to run my gas line and put my new propane tank outside. As soon as they get that up, we'll be able to have that system fully running, and I won't have to run my salamander heater over there. Okay, so this one is good, and we are going to come back and do another video today over this guy. These, always keep your drain open. Let that just drain out. That which comes out is leachate, not tea. Alright. Same thing here. You had some little baby pumpkins. We're going to add some more bedding to this. And I know it's time. I'm just going to fish the rest of that out in there. Mushroom compost in there. Again, we're going to add some of the worm chow. Really entice them into getting up there. We're going to throw some chitin mealworm frass and some bran in there. Always be able to look out for free inputs. If you've got insect people around you that deal with crickets or mealworms or anything like that, go talk to them. There's a good chance that their byproduct or what they're considering trash is a free input for you. You can get the mealworm frass, you can get the spent bran, the ectoskeletons, anything that makes your garden stuff better. There's a good chance you can get it for free. If not, you can get it for a really great price and you can produce better castings. I'm going to do another video too over this urban worm bag. I do not like the fact that, I'll show you later on the next video, that I have to get on my hands and knees to get the material out at the bottom. I want this thing jacked up high enough that I can still work it from up here, but I may have to get on my hands and knees, but not this far from the ground to get what I want. Okay, all of our other cell bins, they work the same as a breeder bin. Everything, that's how we're doing everything here. Again, we have to do all those bins over there, the breeder Ibc Totes, feed and water. Now, if you're running bins like this in your house, you can use the worm shell, which I highly recommend because you're going to make better castings. But you're going to take and you're going to put your food scraps in there and cover those up. And then the moisture can come all the way down. So feeding the way we feed, and we don't have enough food scraps. I do not have enough time to start going to grocery stores and Walmart to try to get food scraps for all of these. With the way that we're doing everything, because we're breeding on a commercial level, everything's uniform. Everything, I know what I'm putting into my soil. I know what I'm creating. And I'm creating a fungal dominant casting, which originally turned out to be just a byproduct that we just sold willy-nilly. But now we are enhanced our casting to where we have specialized it in the fungal dominant part. I know I say that a lot, but really look into trying to produce more of the fungal dominant side. Okay guys, that is how we are feeding. Obviously we didn't do all of those bins, we just did one of each. That's how we're doing everything. Our cell bins over here is 3,600 bins, almost 100 bins over here. We're going to treat those just like we do these. And about every 21 days is the only time I fluff those. But because they get rotated. They get rotated, so there's no sense. I mean, once I see that maybe they sat on the shelf for 2 weeks and they've made their way up the system, if they need feed, I'll add bedding to them and feed. I mean, obviously we feed every week, but I'll add bedding to them. the kind of a good part for us is when we're running these cell bins through the trommel to pull out, you know, each bin has a pound. So if I run a bin, I'm going to get castings. They're going to go to our casting cell bin. I'm also going to get more cocoons. Those cocoons will go back over to those white IBC totes like you'd seen before. Because that's how we feed and water around here. We do this every Wednesday when I get home from work, and I do it every weekend. Try to do all the feeding on Saturday because Sunday we pull orders. All right, till next time, guys. You have a good one.